While we are learning Selenium test automation, today's topic will be about test ng annotations, and we'll see what we can do, what other options are there, right? And we will talk about data provider as well. Okay, that is required for it can help you on data driven testing. So let's see with the example itself. So last time we were talking about this before method, after method part, right? So let's continue this thing first. Let's continue this. So let's say uh, I want to uh, run something or execute something before the whole thing, before, you know, there is check one, check two, check three. Just once I want to do something, so you can have before test or before class first. So class, before class, then again it will be a method public void before a test class. Okay, and here you can say something. Let's say system.out.println starting of class. What will happen if you will put before class annotation? When I will run this, you'll observe that first thing which it will execute when you execute the whole class is this starting of class. See, it's coming because of this before class annotation. And this is the very first thing which it is executing. Then it will try to find out the test cases. But once it will go to the test case, it will check, okay, is there any before method also available? So it will execute before method, which is executed for every test case, which will be executed for every test case. So see here, start test is coming, then test case is executed, then end test, then start test, which is before method, then test case, then again end test, which is after method, then start for a test one, then, you know, uh, because of the after method, this is end test is coming, correct? So before method and after method, we have put to execute something before any test case execution, and this is for after any test case execution what I want to do. And these are optional. It's not like that you have to use it. No, no, no. It's not like that. Apart from that, now there is after class also. So before and after class. So that will be public void after a test class. You can give any function name. It's fine. Annotation is important. Annotation is more important than what function name you are giving. It's better to give a meaningful name, right? That's why I'm saying it like this. But we'll see practical example also what can come in after class part. Okay. So here, as of now, just to showcase you how it works and all, I'm putting it here. Let's say end of my test class execution. Now, if we will run this, see what will happen. If you will observe this, start of the class at the very first, it is executed. End of my test class execution is executed at the end. Okay. So this is how it works. What other annotations we have, what theory thing we have about it, you can search it in testng.org. This is the official website. If I will go to documentation, Okay. And if I'll see here annotations, it is talking about different annotations. Okay. So we talked about before. Okay. We have not seen before suite, after suite, uh, before test, after test. These four things are remaining, right? So let's complete this first. Okay. So we will see first before test. What is before test? So the priority of the before test is even before, like before class. So if I have at the rate before test, and I will say public void um, before all, we will see this thing how it will work. Test class once. Okay. We will see its theoretical definition also, like how it works. So here, if I'll say, hey, okay, what will happen? I'll run this and I'll check what will happen. So if you will observe this time, it's saying, hey first, means the priority wise, before test will be executed first, then before class, then before method, then a particular test case, then after method, after test, right? After method, then again, it will complete. But then here, if you see, it's like end of the class. So this is in the same way, the hierarchy is like this, right? This one is executed and this will be executed. So hierarchy wise, if I want to draw a picture, what will happen? Let's understand. It's like before suite has the highest priority. Before suite, highest priority. After that, before test. After that, before class. After that, before method. After that, test. This is also annotation, right? The real test case. Then in the same order, it will be like this. So, what will happen after method will come? Then it means the test case is executed. After that, what will happen? So after method will be there. Then after class will be executed. Then after suite will be executed. Then at the end, my bad, this one is after test. After test, and then at the end, after suite. Like this. Okay. It should be very clear. Anytime when somebody will ask, what is the priority of execution of different annotations? You should draw this picture. You should draw this picture to make it very clear what will happen. Now, let's see this practically. What I'm saying is, let's create one more test class, right? So this is testng demo 1, correct? This was uh, testng demo 1. Where was that? Yeah, this one. Let's create one more class. It's possible that you can have multiple test classes. Very much possible. So let's say there is a testng demo 2 also. And let's change something here. In testng2 demo, we don't have this before method, after method. We have test cases only. Okay, let's have just 2 test cases to make it easier, otherwise it will be difficult to understand what is happening. Let me delete all these things. Fine. And let me delete priority and all everything as of now to understand about the annotation part. Okay. And you will understand what is happening. Here I will say this is the test one of 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 class 2, right? Because this is the second class. This is test ng demo 2, and this is the test 2 of class 2, correct? Two test cases. It is independent. I can run this. This test class has its own test cases. So it's working fine. It will say you test 1 of class 2, test 2 of class 2. Fine. But now I want to execute both. So what you can do is you can create testng XML file. And that happens in the real project. We do not run Eclipse, we do not like come here and execute the program in real practical projects. We actually execute XML. That is called testng XML. Fine. So let's see that part now. You can generate XML. So you can right click, or you can right click on project also. You can say right click, and here is a testng option. You can say convert to testng. These you can do on class level also. These you can do on project level also. So I say convert to testng XML, next, and finish. That's it. When I did it, it has generated this XML for me. Okay. How simple it is. And you can have your own, you can explicitly also create this XML. You can explicitly also create this XML. When I say explicitly, means you can go to your project, say new, say file, and create it like testng.xml, and then have this content. Okay. So this is the format. This is the format of XML file, and it is very simple. What it is saying, let's understand. So this is like it's DTD and schema type. Don't worry about it. Okay. Whenever you start any XML file, it's like this. If you don't know about the XML file, please read it. Right? Read it in internet, YouTube, search, and just read about basic idea about XML file. Okay. So XML is not just like it's related to automation or testing. No. XML has its own data format, right? It has its own tags and values. So I'm not going into that part, that what is XML and all. You must know it first of all. And if you don't know, you should research about it. Anyways, what it says my test suite is starting here, it's ending here. Okay. Now what it is saying, it's saying that the name of my test suite is just suite. You can change it. So I can say my test suite, or you can give regression test suite, smoke test suite. You can give any name, right? That is more meaningful. Then here I'm saying test. That means you can include all the test classes inside that. What are the test classes you want to execute? This thread count 5, it's for the parallel execution, right? So you can execute maximum 5 test cases parallelly. We are not going to talk about that in this session. We will take it maybe tomorrow about parallel execution. Then this is your like test name. So here I can say smoke, let's say, or I can say release, right? So I can say this is for my August release or September release. I can say September 2023 release. so that once the report will be generated, you'll be able to see the result related to September 2023 release, right? Because you want to include these many classes to be executed. Now compare it with manual testing. We do the same thing. Don't you think we do the same thing? When you do manual test execution in Jira or test trail, or different kind of test management tools are there, what you do there, you create one test execution cycle, that this is my, or in quality center we say it test lab. We create one test execution cycle and we say, okay, these many test cases we are going to execute, these many test cases we are going to execute, and you pull all the test cases, manual test cases, and you do execution manually. In automation also we are doing the same thing. We are saying that this is my test suite, this is the test which I want to execute, and these are the test cases which is presented under this package. These are the test cases. TestNG demo 1, what it has? It has test cases. And TestNG demo 2, what it has? It has test cases. So you want to execute the whole thing now, and I will say right click. You can right click on the XML and say run as TestNG suite. Execution done. This time it is saying 5 test cases because there are 3 test cases in TestNG demo 1 and 2 test cases in TestNG demo 2. Let's observe this now. If you see here, this execution is related to TestNG demo 1 till this, correct? And after this, this is for the TestNG demo 2, correct? It is executed in this way. Now, if in TestNG demo 1, here I had before test, let's create after test also, and we will see what will happen after test. And here I will say public void after all test class, and here I will say SYSO by. Okay, now let's execute this and see what will happen. Now I'm executing this, and if you will observe that this hey was the before test and this by is after test. That means this will be executed only once. It will not execute for every test class. It will be executed only once for a test tag. For a test tag in the XML, I'm saying not like annotation. I'm saying this. For this tag, before test will be executed just once. Means anywhere in this or this, you can have before test just once. You should not do before test everywhere. Okay. Then what is before suite? Here, if I'll write before suite @ before suite. Okay. I'll say public void before a complete test suite. and we'll put the code. And here I'm saying system.out.println, and let's put something. So I will say good morning. Okay. And there will be after suite also. There will be after suite also. I will simply change here only after suite. Good night. And this time, if we will execute this, see what will happen. So it is saying me here, good morning. So this will be the highest priority. As I said in this picture, before suite has the highest priority to be executed, then before test functions will be executed, then before class, then before method, then that test case, then after method, then after class, then after test, and then after suite. Nothing is mandatory here. Only at the rate test is mandatory if you want to utilize, test ng framework. Rest of the things is just to simplify the things or to, solve a problem or to serve a purpose. Otherwise, only this one is the test case. Okay, rest of the things are related to prerequisite. Rest of the things are related to, if you will talk in other way, before method is the prerequisite of a test case. Before class is a prerequisite for diff group of test cases. So see, these things are going to repeat. Let me write it. This will always repeat. Am I correct? That this one is test 1, this is test 2, and there will be 100 number of test cases. Test 3. Test 1, test 2, test 3 is fine, but it's not like that you have to write before method. It's fine. If you don't want to write before method, it's fine. It will not be executed. There is no prerequisite for all the test cases. It's like this. Before class means you want to execute just once. For all this, just once, not every time. Before test means you want to, there is a prerequisite which is required to be executed for all the classes. Here you have multiple classes. There may be n number of test classes which you want to execute. For them, I want to execute something which is related to a group of test classes, and I want to execute just once. That's why we can have before test. But above all, there is one more thing which is related to before suite. So there may be multiple kind of test release check. So here it's possible that there is one more execution. So I can have multiple tests in one suite. So this is, let's say, September smoke. I can say this, let's make it more clear. September 2023 smoke checks. September 2023 regression check. It's possible. You do smoke and regression both, or sanity and regression both. So here, this particular thing is for the regression test, and you have different classes. As of now, we have just testng demo 1 and demo 2. You can have different test classes, right, to execute. So now if I will execute this, It is executing me. It's saying 10 test cases. Why? Because 5 test cases are this and 5 test cases from here. So that's why it's saying 10 test cases all passed. And if you see the execution, good morning has come because of the before suite. Then this is before test. Then, this one is the before class. Then all the test cases executed. This is test ng demo 1 completed. Okay. Then this is for the test ng demo 2, this 2, correct. Then by, correct, for the particular test class, right? So a particular test, this is completed, right? So after test says by, correct. Then now your regression is executed. So this one is for the regression check, same thing again. But if you see here, good morning and good night has happened only once. This good morning, there is no good morning again. And then at the end, good night. Why? Because that you have kept in before suite and after suite. Right? So that will be executed just one for a test suite. For the complete test suite, before suite will be executed just once and after suite will be executed just once. So this is the basic idea of how the execution happens. Okay.